Hi guys, I guess with this video I will introduce you to my character Magneto. To make a long story short, essentially it's not my first. It wasn't. This wasn't my first character. I had another character called the Phantom before him, and even he wasn't my first character. But as time went by, I made new characters for various reasons. Essentially, the reason why I made this Magneto was because I had a couple of friends who were starting to play this universe or they were getting back after a long, long break and decided to make a new character. So we decided, hey, let's all make new characters and play together. So essentially, everyone chose their powers, their various powers, what they wanted to do, and the slot that was left was the troll. No one really wanted to troll, and it's better this way. I tend to think that well, at least for a long while, controller was the hardest role to play in this universe. So oh, sorry about that. So we agreed on which power which player would take, and so the role of the controller fell to me. So the role of the controller fell to me, and I didn't. I already had a few gadget controllers, so I didn't want one of those, one more of those. So I experimented a bit with the other controlling powers. At the time, munition didn't exist. What's the other one? Quantum didn't exist, so it was a bit more limited in the controlling department. So I decided to go for at first I decided to go for a Green Lantern. I wanted to create a Green Lantern character which would maybe become my main character, and it probably would have if not for a few things. Mainly the power over time. I hated the power over time of the Green Lantern. So I started looking at the other powers and said, okay, I'm not going to do a Green Lantern, so what can I do? And I ended up taking a mantle. I just again I didn't know what character to make and make a new character, make an existing character, and when I started thinking about the mental characters, the way it seems to work in this universe, at first all I could think about was Phoenix, and I'm not too crazy about the idea of playing a female character, so I thought maybe a male Phoenix, and then I started trying to come up with maybe a cosmic boy from the Legion of Superheroes, and I tried maybe a cosmic man or cosmic master, and none of that really worked. And then as soon as I tried on the knight helmet, which is what I'm wearing right now, I knew the answer was Magneto. Even though Magneto doesn't have illusion powers and doesn't have mental powers, a few of the powers in the mental, especially the telekinetic. Let's go there. A lot of the powers in telekinesis, we're doing a good job at making a fake Magneto. So, and even a few in the illusion tree weren't that bad. So essentially, I went with the Magneto character, and I wasn't sure what to call him. I changed names like 3 times since I created him, and only to settle finally for what was my first intention was Magneto First Class. So essentially, the reason why I started with my Magneto character today is that I want to show you the mainframe a bit more how it works, and also I'm going to invite the Wolverine so that it can be part of my mainframe. So essentially, you see in the various permissions, you can invite leagues, and so if you invite leagues into your base, every single member of that league will be able to enter your base, move items, and use amenities depending on how you set up your things. Or you can go and invite each character individually, which is what we'll do with the Wolverine. The easiest way I find to do this is first, let's make the Wolverine our friend. So we start by friending the Wolverine, and then we go to our mainframe, and odds are, like, we could go do add players and enter the name, but I find it's much easier to just add the Wolverine as our friend, and we see him right here. So we can set it up to enter the base. I have no idea why. As soon as you set up, as soon as you click enter base, the Wolverine changes position in the list, and you have to start over and then use amenities. It does that every time. No idea why it does that. It doesn't really matter. So essentially, we've set up the Wolverine so that he can enter this base, which is a pretty sweet base if you ask me. No, seriously, I didn't. It has pretty much bare bone decorations. No, I shouldn't say that. I have bases that have a lot less. Essentially, this is my base where I keep my armories. It's pretty much that simple. Where I keep my armories and where I do my crafting. So let's go to our other bases. Because essentially right now what I've done is that I've invited the Wolverine to this base, but I want him to go to my other bases too. So let's go and do that. So this is my auction house base, I guess you could say. This is where I come to do whatever I need to do on the broker. This is where it happens. Again, it's pretty simple. Nice big poster here. So essentially we're going to come to the mainframe here, and we're going to do the same permission stuff we did before. So we'll come to the Wolverine, enter the base, he moves in the list. So we go back up, Wolverine, and use amenities. So we did it for this, we did it for this base, and now, ooh, what a handsome fellow. So you can see the various decorations. Pretty. I really love this banner pretty much. I get a kick out of those. A little vampire head for you. Uh, the statue of Ares, or is it 80s? No, it's Ares. The statue of Ares is pretty cool if you ask me. So essentially, I have three bases for my Magneto. Why, says you? I wanted at first. I didn't have bases with all my characters. I only had bases with pretty much Magneto. I didn't want to have too many bases for some reason. I have two more armories here, as you can see, but I don't really use them. And in here you'll see, is that the one with? Okay, it's not. So in here, that's pretty much what I would call my training room. It's where I've set up my sparring targets, my respect station, my locker rooms, my weapon, whatever. So let's invite the Wolverine to be here. Hi there. I don't have the comments or the chat enabled. So if you chat me and I don't answer you, don't think I'm ignoring you. I just don't see the chat right now. So essentially, with this base also, we're going to invite again our friend the Wolverine. So let's do that right now. So let's go back up again. I guess I have a few unknown players that I should get rid of. It doesn't matter. So essentially right now, the Wolverine can use all the bases that Magneto has. So we're going to log out with this character, and I'll come back with the Wolverine in just a second. So let's switch characters. Yes. And let's log in with our Wolverine. And now if we go to our teleporter, if we go to base and legals, we can see the bases of our friend, the Wolverine, the Magneto. Magneto. So we can teleport to either of those bases thanks to the base and legal mod. But also I will show you something else about that. Oh, I hear something. Oh yeah. Let's go into stealth mode, just in case. So if you go to the map, if you go to base tracking to the top, it will show you the bases of all the bases you have access to technically that don't belong to you. So in this case, we have all 3 bases by Magneto. So we're going to select all 3 bases. We're going to click the triangle for update. And voila. And then we will zoom out on the map. And we can see the Magneto's base over there. So let's go. I'm not sure why I can't. Okay, let's try something else. Okay, I'll just select this spot here, select waypoint. Oh yeah, I'm not sure why I can't do it. Let's clear the waypoint, and okay, there we go. So essentially I selected one of Magneto's bases. So let's go over there. Essentially, Magneto has 1 base in Metropolis and 2 bases in Gotham. Should have been the other way around because Metropolis is so much bigger. That's also one of the reasons why I wanted 3 bases for Magneto at first. Essentially, when the bases first came out, people would buy a handful of those bases. I think that you can buy up to 4 bases. So people would buy 4 bases so that they would have 4 places in Gotham and or Metropolis where they could teleport. Because essentially you can teleport straight to your base. So let's say I put a base on Metropolis on this end. I put a base in Metropolis on Stryker Island. And I put a base on Gotham in Arkham Island. And then I put a base in Gotham on, I don't know, South Gotham. Then I could pretty much teleport all over the place. Oh. I could pretty much teleport all over the place as I saw fit. Oh, there's a little PvP fight. Let's see if we can't help our friends. Probably not, but you never know. So as you can see, the villains are camping the spot where the heroes have to go. So their heroes won't be able to bring their lanterns over there. And that seems to be people in PvP gear. Oh yeah, I barely did any damage to her. Oh, no, I did damage her a bit. Holy crap, I never thought I'd kill her. So here's another one over here. Oh, I attacked her boo. This one seems a lot more powerful, so I will die soon. Oh yeah, pretty soon. But as you see, I was able to complete a lot of wanted posters. She had to teabag, of course. So I was able to complete the Fear versus Will, Gotham Villains, Gotham Villains, and Gotham Villains. Which is not bad. So the next time I pass nearby a police station, odds are I'll be able to take the wanted poster. Nah, I could probably go and try to help out, but nah, she's way too powerful. She's gonna kill all of us. So let's go to Magneto's base while we're zipping around. And on PS3, I don't remember how many times I got stuck in this freaking pool. Because essentially, on PS3, when I would first get here, the pool wasn't there. It would load after the fact. So my Magneto would land here, and then the pool would spawn, and I would be trapped in the pool. Luckily, PS4 seems to have fixed that problem, sort of. Fixed is not the right word, but it'll do for now. So as you can see now, my Wolverine can go to my Magneto base. And I should be able to use his amenities. Oh yeah. So I can go into my bank from here. I can go. And as I mentioned, at first people would have bases so that they could teleport all over the place. Essentially, if all your character bases, if you have access to all your character bases, you literally can teleport anywhere you want in Gotham or Metropolis. Of course, now with some of the mods, you can already do that also, but it helps a bit. Or sometimes if let's say you used up already your teleport to be able to go back to your warp to base, if you've already used it, but if you have a friendly base nearby, then you go to your friend's base, and then you can use this teleporter and go wherever you want, even if your warp isn't working. So in this instance, we'll go to the Mutant Academy because we're going to do some training. So we have our own little danger room, you could say. So let's go do that. Okay, so at some point I did promise you guys an explanation about the skill points. I think this will be it. So let's go see the skill points. So essentially, there's various sets of skills. There's the acrobatic skills, which essentially are all your acrobatic, either your resistance or your various attacks that you can use. So I will use all of them just to show you, to give you an example. And the weapons, again, there's 11 types of weapons so far. Essentially, there was 10 at first, and then they added the shield. But since the shield, they haven't added anymore. Not sure why. Is it because it was too difficult to come up with other weapons? Is it because they didn't make enough money with the shield, so they don't see it worth it to add a new weapon? I have no idea. But ultimately, we started at 10 weapons. Now we have 11 weapons, and we've been stuck at 11 weapons for years now. The weapon I'm using with my character is the martial arts, as you noticed. So you can see there are there's essentially like you can see to the bottom left like the combos that you can do. Like essentially the top one, there's two combos that can be done with that one. Come on, there you go. So either I do the triangle or I hold the square. That's the starting combo you have at the start of the game. So which means like you'll go over the triangle or you hold the square. These are the first attacks you have in your skill tree. Then the other one will be tap the square and hold the square. So essentially, you tap the square and then you hold. Oh, I waited too long. You tap the square and you hold it. There you go. And it does what I call the powerful knee attack. Oh, not the one. Somehow I'm stuck on 3. There you go. So, and these little dummies are pretty good for that, to practice those various moves. And there's 2 tap, 1 hold. 2 tap, 1 hold. You'll see that some combos come more naturally than others. And we have 3 tap, 1 hold. So let's try that again. Essentially, oh, I went too far. Essentially, you do 3 attacks, and then you do some sort of elbow drop. It's pretty much that simple. And of course, you have 4 attacks and 1 hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. It's pretty straightforward. And then if we go to the left, then we have 5 taps and 1 hold. I'm just checking. Yeah, okay. So let's go for 5 tap and hold. As you saw, it does like some sort of smoke bomb attack, which is pretty neat usually. And let's see. And then we have, if we hold, essentially we have a triangle attack, which is one attack, 1 hold. Then we have 2 hold. It does this attack. 1, 2. 1, 2. And there's 3 hold. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's pretty simple and straightforward. So that's the various attacks you have. And that was with martial arts. Various weapons will have various different combos. It depends on the weapon you use. And how do you get those powerful skill points? Like as you see right now, Wolverine has 27 skill points. I'm level 30, 33. It's more or less there. I could probably have a handful of extra skill points. Maybe if I had done the booster gold missions or the explore, I would have more skill points at this point. It's early on. It's not that dramatic. The thing is, you want 44 skill points pretty much as quickly as possible in order to be able to take the weapon masteries. But I'll make a video later about the weapon masteries. So how do you get those skill points? I don't know if you remember when we did as we played, we would gain feats as we progressed in the game. Well, that's how you get skill points. Essentially, when you go into feat, you can see up there the feat counter. Like whenever you get a 10-point feat or a 25-point feat or a 50-point feat, it adds to your feat counter. And essentially, once you reach 100, you gain the skill point. So either you will need 10, 10 feet that gives you 10 points, that'll bring you to 100, and then that'll give you one skill point, or you need 2 feats that give you 50 points. That will bring you to 100. It'll give you one skill point, or 3 feats that give you 4 feats that give you 25 skill points. Again, you'll get to 100. Of course, you can mix and match. You can get a 51, a 25 one, and then 310 one, 310 skill points, 310 feats, 310-point feats. I knew I would get it at some point. So, and how do you get those skill points? By completing feats. I'll skip the Legend PV for now since we didn't touch it much. But essentially, just collecting base items, there are feats for that. Like for the absolutely stuffed, if you get the Mammoth display, the Pterosaur display, the Saber-tooth Tiger display, and the Plesiosaur display, you get two skill point. Or you get a skill point. You get a feat that will give you, I think, 2 stars is 25 skill point, 25 points. So essentially, the absolute stuffed would give you 25 point to your next skill point. Essentially, all the base feed seems to give you 2 stars is 25, 1 star is 10, and 3 stars is 30 or 50, depending on the. At some point they changed a few things around. I'm not sure why. Like the alerts, if you explore all the alerts, you'll get 50 points. I think let's cheat in this one case and let's try one. Like let's assume we explored all of Gotham District. If you want to like those green thingy means that I can buy the skill point if I want to. So let's buy the skill point for exploring Gotham. See, the 3 stars gave me a 50 point feat, and it gave me a skill point because as you saw at the top, essentially I passed the 100 mark, and now I have one new skill point. I'll show you again just to be sure, and this time I'll take this one because this one also, if you see it grants a title also. It doesn't really matter, but so if we take this one, as you saw the feat points went up to 70, so it added the 50 points we just got, and even it gave us the new title. So now if I go back to my skills, you can see that I gained a skill point, which I would probably put into, I would put here. So see, once you have 20 points assigned into your weapon, then you can unlock what is known as the weapon mastery. So let's do that. So the next time, I'm going to be able to take skills way down here. And also, if I was to put 20 points in pistols, I would be able to take these two things here. And if I was to put 20 points in hand blast, I would be able to take these two here. But that's something I'm going to explain properly once I explain the weapon masteries. I'll need about 44 skill points to be able to show you properly. So I'll wait until then. So when you look at all the feats, Uh, Also, you can see the progress or review. Like I have completed 102 feats out of 1,171. And you also can see the various categories. Like we didn't do any Legends PvP, PvE with Wolverine, so we have no Legends PvE feats. In the general feats, we've done 19 feats out of 72. The solo feats is what we did the most so far. And I'll just show you the general feat so that you get an idea. So the general feat, we did 19 of those. So you can see they're all down here. So all those feats are done. The green ones are done. And if you want to see the progress of your feats that you have in progress, like there's one feat where you have to use the breakout ability 500 times, and we've used it 240 times so far. So when we reach 500 breakout, we will gain a feat, 2-point feat, which will mean 25 points. So essentially, if we consider what we have right now, we're at 70 points. So let's say we complete this 25 feet point right now, then we'd get 95 points. So we'd be 5 points shy of 100 and 5 points shy of our next skill point. Like the lunch money, we have to open treasure chests. How many did we open so far? We opened 20. See, since we started playing, all the chests we saw in the game so far added to 20 chests. And the feat is, in this case, it's 50. Then there'll be one at 100. Then there'll be one at, I think the top one is 250 or 500. I'm not sure. Again, there's another one where it's to get 50 hits on the hit counter. So this one we didn't do yet. The red barrels. See, we have to break 100 red barrels to get this feat. And we're up to 67 and 67 of 100. So which is why whenever I see, or let's watch the orange barrel. And the orange barrel, we're up to 139 of 250, which is why whenever I see barrels, ideally, I try to break them in order to raise those feet. So, and the Metropolis Booster, like essentially, those are all the Booster Gold missions that you can do during the game. And there's, as you can see, there's quite a few of them. But once you do them all, you get a feat. And these are just the Metropolis ones. There's the Gotham ones also. And here we have all the wanted posters. We didn't do any of those because at some point they upgraded all the wanted missions to be to require level 30 or more. So we're not well, maybe now we could start doing a few of the lesser ones, but we could be asking for trouble if we started doing that. So the wanted. Also, there's six heroes, six iconic heroes spread through the map, and 5 villains. If we manage to meet all of them, like if we see Superman, Steel, Robin, Nightwing, Green Lantern, and Batman, uh, there's a feat for that. But for that, you have to either know exactly where they spawn, or be really lucky to while you explore Metropolis or Gotham. And here we have to accomplish 25 heroic hacks. We did 2 out of 25 so far. Not great, but not bad. And you can see all those we did so far. So doing those feats allow us to get skill points. The more feats we do, the more skill points we'll get. But some skill points, there's some feat, there's no miracle. You have to wait. Like all the let's go to the R&D ones. This one is fairly simple. Research 50 plans. We've got 26 out of 50 so far. Not too bad. Create 100 items. In itself, it's not bad, and we created like 71 out of 100. The problem is that the top feat is like create, I don't know, 5,000 items or 10,000 items. I'm not sure what the top one is, but it's a pretty astronomical number. So odds are it'll take you months, maybe even a year or two to finish those feats. unless you decide to grind them for some reason and try to create as many items as you can. And the same here, like the early feat is to gather 250 items, but like the top feat is like gathering 25,000 items. And yeah, I really mean 25,000. So you'll gather a lot of exhibits before you can complete that one. And the same with breaking down. You have to salvage a lot of pieces in order to get that feat. Again, the top one is something like 15,000 items to salvage. So it will take a while just to complete those. And the styles, it's even worse. Like for the styles, like essentially you have those collect 250 styles. Yeah, we'll do that fairly quickly enough. 500 styles, yeah. One thing we could do to try to make this feat progress is go buy all the styles in the watchtower, like in the war room. Like there's there's dispensers that essentially sell all the styles that you can get at character creation. They're fairly inexpensive, so once you get a bit of money on the side, you can go and buy all those styles and get a few feet. But all the other styles, it takes a while. Like the Vengeance, we have the legs, we have nothing, we have nothing, 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 nothing. So as you can see, we didn't gather that many styles, iconic styles, or any iconic styles. And let's see the theme styles. Again, a whole lot of nothing. And as you can see, there's lots of them. So out of all the styles we have so far, we managed to collect three of them. There's a player versus player feats also. Again, like a lot of those are 10 point feat. So essentially, 10 of those will give us one skill point. It's that simple. The dueling one, holy crap, that some of those are going to be tough. Like right now, you can see we have to win one duel by the skin of our teeth, but that feat goes up to at least 100 or probably even more. So that's a tough one to do. Again, in the arena, if we win 5 matches in the Star Labs, 5 matches in the Moon, 5 matches, uh, it may seem simple, like, oh yeah, just 5 wins. Sometimes it's a tall order. Sadly, in PvP, you're not by yourself. You're with three other guys, or 8 other guys in the case of an 8 versus 8 match. Uh, the odds of winning sometimes are pretty much stacked against you. So essentially, all those are feats. The more feats you gather, the more skill points you'll have. And the more skill points you'll have, well, the more you're going to be able to buy all the skills on one weapon tree, and then all the skills in one other weapon tree, and one all the skills in another weapon tree. And why would you want to buy the skills in other weapon trees? If I'm using martial arts, why do I want to put skill points in brawling? Because even if I decide never to use brawling of my life, there are skills in here that will give me uh, stat boosts. Like the very first one gives you 5 extra restoration. It doesn't seem like much, but once you accumulate all of them, it kind of adds up. Like this one will give us 25 health, 5 restorations again, 10 precision. This gives nothing, so if you can, you don't take it. So, and here you can stack 3 of those, and each give you 25 health point. Here, that's mostly if you're a healer, although certain tanks would probably want to take this ability. Fire tanks, I'm thinking of mostly. Here, this increases your dominance. Again, this is probably better for a tank or a controller. And here, this increases your critical attack damage. Uh, DPSs will mainly take that, but that could be good for everyone. And then you have, and that's for each point you put into it. So essentially, by once you put in 3 points, you'll have 12% of boost critical attack damage. And again, here each point you put in this one gives you 9 extra might. And in this case, you can put up to 6 points. 4 extra vitalization. Again, you can put up to 6 points. So that means 24 points in total. The same here, you can boost your power by 8. And then times 6, that means 48 points. Restoration, again, 10 restoration times 6, that's 60 restoration. If you put all your points in then. And there. And then you have the weapon masteries, which if you use that weapon, fine, you take your weapon masteries. If you don't use the weapon, you don't care about the weapon masteries here. But even then, once you put 20 points in here, and you get the weapon mastery in here, then you're going to be able to take the bottom row here. And the bottom rows aren't nothing. Essentially, the first one you get 25 might and 25 precision for each point you put in there. So it's a potential of 75. The same here, 25 power boost or 8 vitalization. Again, you can stack it 3 times. Health dominance, 50 health, 7 dominance. Again, you can stack it up to 3 times. Restoration, if you're a healer, 3 restoration plus 30 times 3, that's 90 restoration right there waiting for you. So that's if you once you start having extra skill point, sure, you are going to want to take the other weapons. Even if you don't use them, you'll want to at least take the passive abilities at the very least. So, and also your skill points will allow you to take, as I mentioned before, it will take you to take the acrobatic skills. So I'm going to show you all of those, how they work, just to give you an example. So I will reset only my skill point. Also, you have that little thingy that's called a respec station. You can use it to respec either your powers and your skills. So essentially, you reset everything and you rebuild your character from the ground up. You reset only your skills or you reset only your power. Don't worry, your points won't be gone. Your points will still be there. If you reset, you still have your points. All you really need to do is reassign them. So let's do it for the skills only. So I'm going to reset all the skills. So my skills are gone. Gone, I says. So I will go in my loadout, my damage, and oh no, I can't. Can I? Okay. I'm going to clear my loadout because I'm going to take the acrobatic skills. So this here we saw already. It's essentially it's the skill that allows me to glide. So I will not take it uselessly. And here these are the resistance. So they will make you a little bit harder to knock back or to stun. And when you break out, you're going to get a bit of power back in some cases. But that's not what we're going to take. We're going to focus on this one here, 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 and this one here. Okay. Obviously, since we only have 6 slots, there wasn't room for all of them. So I'll show you the last one once I show you all of them. So this one, what does it do? Essentially, it's the same thing as the taser pull I used before. I don't know if you remember. So it allows you normally to pull an enemy towards you, and you can see it does a tiny bit of damage, like 26 damage, 31 damage. So that's basically what it does. Because not every powers have this kind of pull. Like Gadget has it, a few other powers has it, but if you have a power that doesn't have a pull, well, now you do. You can take one from the gadget movement. So this one, it's pretty simple. You jump forward. I took that early on and eventually replaced it with something else. But as you can see, it's pretty simple. You can see two in orange. These are supercharges. So I will not be able to do them as much as I want. So I'll keep them for the end. So in this one here, I've been using it a lot, if you remember. So it's a pretty useful one. And let's use this one here. Essentially, it's supposed to tie up your target. You don't really see it well with the sparring dummy. And also, as you can see, it does a tiny bit of damage, 28, 36. So it's not a big deal, but whatever. And so let's try the backflip. This used to be a normal ability, but they've made it into a supercharge at some point. Sad, because essentially they thought some people were abusing it. So their answer, sadly, was just to make it a supercharge, and people won't be able to abuse it anymore. It stinks, but what can you do? So let's see what it does. As you see, like, you jump backward and you give a kick, and that's it. And they've made it a supercharge. There's there's no way to explain that. It pretty much made the ability useless. I wouldn't be surprised if no one uses that ever again. But you never know. So I will go back to my loadout, damage, and I will replace this with where's the last one? Okay, with this one here. Okay. So essentially, this last one, it's pretty simple. It throws like 3 knives. It's that simple. It's pretty quick, so you don't really see it. And now my power bar is dry, so we'll have to wait. Okay, let's try again. So you can see it does a tiny bit of damage. And also, we don't really see it here, but sometimes it knocks back or stuns a few enemies. So it's fairly decent. Right now, we'll try to raise my supercharge so that I can show you the last one. Oh, and we got the 50 hits. Let's see how high we can go. In one mission, I was fighting Brainiac robots, and the robots would respawn pretty much as quickly as I would kill them. I was able to raise my counter up to 350. So I can tell you there's nothing past 350. If you go that high, good, but there's no feat for that. I think the top one is 200, maybe 250. We'll see. And as you can see, as we attack the target, our supercharge is charging. That's one way to recharge your supercharge in between missions, if you need to. At some point, I was doing this a lot because I was always waiting about my I was always waiting for my league mates or my partners or whatever. So while waiting, I would punch the sparring target and try to get as high a counter as I could. Uh, 100 seems to be the top, I guess. Which doesn't surprise me. And there you go. So up to this point, there's really no reason to use it that much. So now let's see what the final power does, the supercharge that I didn't use yet. And hopefully you won't be too disappointed. And there you go. Essentially, like while he's shining, it's supposed to protect you and things like that. Uh, they're not. I haven't seen many people use that. It's really not that useful. So, and don't worry. Let's say you worry that oh my God, I messed up as I was reassigning my points, or I changed something I didn't want to change. Remember, we still have our armories at this point. So if you made a change you don't like I'll show you again. Like we see all messed up our skills are. We see no more skill points and weapons. Alley oop or presto, we're back, baby. We're back. Like we can see our loadout is back to being what it was. Our skills are back to being what it was. Our weapon skills are back. So you can't really make a mistake. You really can't because you have your armories backing you up. So don't ever worry about that. So that's going to be it for skill points. I'll probably make another video at some point explaining the powers. And I'll probably make another one at some point explaining the roles, like the controller role. Oh, alley-oop. Ah, ain't that sweet. Anyways, so I'll make probably another video explaining the powers. I'll make a video explaining the controllers, and of course I'll start doing missions, like the tier one missions. I'll start doing those with you guys. So until next time, I hope you had a good time. Bye bye.